Okay, I got it recorded.
All right. So for the post-project evaluation team meeting, the technical performance or how the final scope of the work compared to the scope of the work at the start of the project. Um, I personally think that the amount of work that we initially saw ourselves doing was greatly expanded to include other things. Like at first, I really didn't think we were going to include training for um, for the system administrators to actually look at the policies and have them work on implementing it. I also didn't think we were going to include training for general employees. So that's one way that the scope of our work expanded. Um, for the quality of our work, I don't really think that the quality was a huge issue throughout, because we were only really providing, well, we were initially providing one product and then we expanded to two. I don't think it was, uh, I don't think it was a big factor. I'd like to hear what you guys think about the quality of our project, though. Actually,
Okay.
did you think that there was room for improvement, or we should have written something to like account for the quality of the policies? Because we didn't actually write the policies themselves. Never actually got around to that.
Yeah, I agree because I know, like you said, we did add that extra the training part on, and then the training for the employees. And I think since it was in the scope of it of the project, that would avoid it, coming up later as an extra expense. So at least we identified it, earlier on, within the scope of it. That's some of the work that we would be doing.
Yeah, and I guess that gets into like the last bullet point of technical performance, which was managing change. And I don't think the changes that we implemented really affected our ability to complete the project. So I think overall it was pretty good. Um, if somebody wants to take budget performance, I'm down to talk about that now.
Okay. Yeah, no, on the budget performance, I know she did. We did. I guess we might have undercut ourselves on that. Uh,
I
with
thought so
the
too, actually.
yeah, with the work, and I think that might have just been because I think when I initially did the spreadsheet, I had it as hours, so that's how the calculation was coming up on the next field,
Yeah.
and then when the heading got switched to days, I think that swept threw it off. But I definitely know that was we were way under budget on that as far as like we was thinking may have been like $8 an hour, and
Yeah, something like
I know
that.
that definitely would have been an issue.
Initially, I only had us working several hours a day, like only a few hours a day. So I didn't.
Right.
When it got switched to days, it just became so much more work for so much less money.
So you're saying the $60 was supposed to have been for an hour, or for 2 hours of work versus over for a whole day? Okay.
Yeah. And that thing, like I said, because I know when I initially did the spreadsheet, I think I had hours up there. And in the book it had days, and I think that's how it got. There was a change made to change it to days, and I know that was something that she mentioned, and going back looking at it, I'm like, about $8 an hour is not right for IT professionals. So I know definitely the budget part. I think as far as the work that needed to be done, I think that equaled out. But as far as the actual pay part, I think that's where we kind of came up short on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I understand that comment now. So I did read that. She said for IT professionals.
Yeah.
You don't want to charge like $8 an hour. I didn't know where that comment came from. So yeah, now I got it.
Hello, you guys. I finally joined the call.
Welcome.
Cameron.
All right. Hello.
Hey, Cameron. Oh, you even gave us video. Okay, video.
I got the video off, but all right.
And we were just going through the bullet points, Cameron.
Okay.
We had just started, so we were actually on budget performance, and we were discussing about, as far as the rate that we undercut ourselves on that. I think that was just a confusion between the hours and days.
Okay. Gotcha. And which agenda are y'all looking from?
On page 309, 308, 309. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also actually in the slides too.
It's on the slides too.
Okay.
Yeah. The bullet points are not the explanations.
Okay.
Was there anything else anybody wanted to add about the budget performance, or you guys want to go ahead and move on to the next one?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. And then on the third one is on schedule performance. It says, how did the actual project schedule compare with the original schedule? If the project was late, what were the causes? How was the performance on the schedule associated with each work package? Where the estimated activity duration is realistic. I know when I turned in, or when we finished the actual work schedule, that the last one we turned in, I came up with a day. We were maybe a day less than what we had as our projection. And that was still going, as far as, I think the longest one we have, there was one for 5 days. Have it in front of me.
Oh yeah, I don't think allocating like a week to do a task is unrealistic for a project. It just seems like that's a lot of lost time. So when you had 5 days for that, it's like, was she really working on it for 5 days, or was she doing other stuff? And I guess that could cause confusion.
Right.
But I thought that we needed to have 5 days, at least 1 day to dedicate to each policy that was going to be implemented or created.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good part of the schedule.
Good point. So yeah, like I said, I know it still came. I mean, it's like I said, maybe a day or two under what we projected. So I don't think that would be a problem. I'm pretty sure if we were on site at someone's company, any extras or any days less than what's been projected, I'm pretty sure they would appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cost savings for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think? And I think they were realistic as far as what we had listed out. Because Karen made a good point about that 5 days. Is, the dedication to each policy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. For the next bullet point, it actually says project planning and control. Was the project planned in sufficient detail? I actually think we added a bit too much detail, or not that we added too much, that she requested a bit too much from us, because our system access policy, which is kind of something that you gave us the idea for, it's really simple. Like writing system access policies is pretty simple. I really didn't think it would. I don't think it should take 2 or 3 weeks to write it up. I think maybe it could get done in 1 week, and then the next week would be for the training portion. I don't think that it necessarily needed to be as detailed as it is, because we did actually end up writing the policies. So since that's the bulk of it's basically just one document. Since that's the bulk of it, I didn't really understand why we needed so much detail for this assignment.
Mm. Well, I thought at one point she told us we needed more detail because we didn't have enough. At one point when we turned in something.
She did.
Was it the initial schedule that we turned in? And
Yeah.
she said that we didn't have enough detail on it.
Yeah, I think
we needed to expand on it some more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what she said. But like when I was trying to do that, I was really confused because I had no idea what to add. Which wasn't necessarily. It's not necessarily that I disagree that we could add more detail. I just think to create a system access policy, you don't necessarily need a very scheduled detail of things that you're doing. I think it's fine the way it is now, but I think it also would have been good with less detail. Does anyone have anything else about project planning or control?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right. So the next bullet point is risk management.
Okay.
Was the project outcome impacted by the occurrence of any unexpected events? I suppose. Did you guys have anything unexpected happen during the project that affected your ability to work?
I did.
Yeah.
I guess I must have downloaded my Microsoft project too early because I started getting errors on it. Like it was telling me I needed another product key or something, and I couldn't download it again. So I was unable to do anything with project towards the end.
Yeah, unfortunate. I know I know real life just came up a few times for some people.
Yeah.
And we just had to work around it.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Does anybody want to talk about customer relationships?
I think that was a hard one since we didn't actually have to.
Yeah.
I think
even hypothetically, because in part of the one of the documents we had to have acceptance criteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with this one, the access policy, it would build relationships because whoever we're dealing with the project will have to kind of give us an explanation of what they see as issues as far as with employees or vendors with the access. So we'd have to definitely build customer relationships to kind of get face to face and talk, discuss their issues and how we could help to fix those with the access policy that we were creating.
Yeah. Initially, I thought we were going to make like a framework policy. We didn't end up actually doing this, but I thought we were going to make a framework policy for small businesses, and that small businesses would like come to us, or they would hear about us through other small businesses, and they would come to us to implement their system access policy and things like that. So I thought that would like be a good way to network between them.
So you would build your customer base just by word of mouth, not or based on your reputation.
Yeah, because initially, it was just gonna be small businesses. That's why I thought the budget was okay at first, because I didn't think we could charge a small business an arm and a leg and then expect them to tell other people about it.
Jump on board with that.
Yeah, but it seems like it's more for businesses in general. So our budget probably should have been a bit more. Can someone explain stakeholder engagement to me? Because I don't really understand it.
Mm.
I'm trying to think how to. I hear this enough at work. So
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how to.
How to explain it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm clueless when it comes to stakeholders. Always been, but
I would say maybe looking at it as far as the main people that would be that would be involved. I guess as far as like say for a company, the CEO, maybe their technical person, there's IT person, IT department, the accounting department. As far as the pay, was when I'm thinking of stakeholder engagement, I'm thinking of that because they're um, maybe the ones that's going to be most affected by it. Well, not really most affected, but the policy that we're writing would have to be, I guess, following regulations, or something that couldn't come back later. And if something happened, say like if an employee got fired over something, and someone looks at the policy and say, hey, this really shouldn't have been that way. So kind of looking at like higher management and maybe the IT department is maybe like the stakeholders. I hope I'm explaining that right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm thinking we would have to, in a real life situation, we would have to definitely have regular communication with them to make sure that we're following, the policy that we're creating is going to do exactly what they're expecting.
Oh,
And
so
it
you
doesn't
mean
come
like
back.
after not to cut you off, but you mean like after we're done implementing and training them, we have to like check back up on them and see if their needs are met? Is that what you're?
Yeah. So just kind of making sure it still falls into the guidelines of the business, or something that can't come back to, that could turn into a legal issue.
okay.
Mhm.
Say like where I work, at the bank that I work for, you have managers that'll ask for, they want to track employees' login times. So being in information security, we can't provide that information, or anyone within the IT department can't provide that information unless it comes from someone in human resources.
Mm.
So they can't a manager just can't ask for it. They have to go through human resources, and human resources has to vet it and I guess make sure it's not violating any code of ethics for that employee before they'll give the approval. So that's what I'm thinking as far as stakeholder engagement.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Mm. The next bullet point is team relationships. Did the team participate in planning the project? Was there a team feeling and commitment to the success of the project? Were there any conditions that impeded teamwork? What do you guys think?
I think GroupMe, our chat we had, the group chat, was real effective. There was times that we kind of lost touch with one another, and then that's like you said earlier, that's just life events that happen. But I do think that we all did kind of pull together at some point to make sure that we got what we needed accomplished through that and through the file share. So I think we hit our rough patch, and then we kind of got together as a team and worked through it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm. What is next?
Communication.
Communications.
Was the team kept informed of the project status and potential problems in a timely manner? I feel like we were lagging behind in the beginning on our assignments a little bit. I feel like at some point we could have come together and planned out the project a bit sooner rather than waiting till the weekend when people have things to do or plans. Yeah. I feel like it came together towards the end though a little bit.
I think we might work better under pressure.
That might be true. Yeah.
But I agree definitely. Cause the collaborative calls that he was doing was that day before. And I think we were all under the assumption that all of those assignments were going to be due at 11:59.
Exactly.
So that we had that, we felt we had that window or that little cushion. But I think we did communicate as far as when those assignments were due and what was due. I know, Michael, you sent out a couple of those in the chat. But like you said, it was like we would wait right up until Sunday and decide to, try to get together and work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that has to do with it's the summer and everybody's trying to have some summer,
Yeah.
along with taking these classes too. So
yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, for number 10, problem identification and resolution. Were mechanisms in place for team members to identify potential problems early? Did appropriate team members participate in problem solving? Was problem solving done in a thorough, rational manner? Did we really run into any problems with this project that impeded our ability to finish it?
I didn't see any. I know we just had, like project trying to figure out how to get the information in and change the dates and stuff like that. But as far as any major problems, I didn't see any.
Yeah.
But then those problems that we did run into, we communicated through our chat to help each other get that, get those done.
right.
Yep. And any lessons that we learned from this, working on this project, about maybe teamwork or project planning in general?
Yeah, don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, we need to start early. That's definitely the key.
Yeah, that became a cruncher, big time. Like I said, I know there was one collaborate that I missed, which I think helped a lot as far as our assignments. But yeah, I think a lot of it was waiting until Sunday. Sunday seems to be the day.
Yeah. And
not undercut ourselves next time on the budget.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure
I'd like to be paid.
Yeah, it's time hitting you in the pocketbook. I think we'll all learn from that one.
Yeah, definitely.
And finally, do you guys have any recommendations based on team's discussion and evaluation of the above items to help improve performance on this project or on future projects? Or did this assignment help give you any ideas for future projects and how to go about being more productive while doing those?
I think I would say that preparation, I guess, learning to be prepared when you go into a meeting, or if you get on a project, be prepared to do your part and go ahead and implement it, or, you know, at that point, just be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I would say paying attention to the deadlines and make sure you're getting everything turned in on time and working in a timely manner.
Mm.
Because I know that was something she stressed as far as, you know, projects in the real world, that things can change, so you have to make sure that you're on time with everything.
Exactly.
And I definitely agree about, you know, preparation and the time management. I think, you know, if something comes up, you know, we shouldn't, you know, wait until the last, well, not say last minute, but, you know, kind of keep the lines of communication open. If we foresee something or something happening, to go ahead and let your team know. And then that way, you know, we can pick up the slack if need be. Or
Right.
if we do it ahead of time, then we don't have that. We shouldn't have that issue. But that was definitely something that I learned as far as with this project and any future projects, is to definitely keep the lines of communication open.
Yep. I'm interested to see how I can use these skills in the future, because I know that they come back up when you're doing project management, project planning. So maybe I can upgrade some more projects in the future. Are there any other thoughts about our project or the bullet points we just went over? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I don't. Like I said, I think all in all, I think we pulled together to make it happen.
Yeah, I agree.
But I know, like you said, Michael, at the beginning, you were doing, you know, kind of starting it out, and we would come in and kind of finish off some areas that were, you know, that weren't filled in. But I think towards the end, we kind of saw the direction that we were going and didn't want to go that way with our project. So we tried to make sure that we got everything done in a timely manner.
Mm.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
Um,
But it was a good learning experience, and I've actually been able to use some of it at work already.
Mm.
Yeah, current
Real
bank merger
world
going
stuff.
on.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a lucky employee at BB&T with the SunTrust. So, you know, all of that's going on right now. So,
That's right. The merger.
Yeah. So definitely get to use my project management skills. But other than that, I didn't have anything else.
Well, that's all. We can go ahead and wrap up and the recording.
All right, I'll go ahead and stop the recording now.